Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, August 25th. I hope everyone's doing well. You survived Monday. Here we are. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I am just a few people short of having 14,000. So I'm going to make this the day that we do the free reading giveaway. So every time I hit 1,000 new subscribers, I do a free reading giveaway. Um, I only have one rule though, and I had a lot of people get creative with this rule last time, so I'm just going to put it out there. There is only one rule, and that is you have to comment under this video. You cannot email me. You cannot send it through my website. You really shouldn't be tracing me down on Facebook. I had about 10 people do that. That was a little interesting. And then I had people go back like a month or so to other videos and start putting in free reading. So, uh, make a long story short, the last time I did this, it overwhelmed my Diane's Tarot Gmail. It overwhelmed my website. And then I was getting all these pop-ups on Facebook and from past videos. So you know what? If you don't want to comment under this video, fine, don't. But don't comment elsewhere. That was really bizarre. And if you don't want to have a YouTube account, that's fine. That's up to you. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but that's my one rule because my viewers know how I draw the winner. And that is I pull a number out of a box, I put the comments in chronological order, I count down, and I select a winner. So if you don't have a YouTube account, but you know someone that does, they can put your name in and then put free reading. That's fine. I'll honor that. But please do not. I had over 500 people last time just put stuff everywhere in cyber world. It was a little overwhelming. So I just wanted to make an announcement because I had foreshadowed this in my last video that I'm adding another level to my YouTube channel. And that's going to be amazing. It's going to start September 1st. So in 1 week, you'll get the complete details then. But just to give you an idea of what this whole new level is going to be is I'm building a community, and it's a community of like-minded people who want to learn and grow and still feel connected, even though we're going through this period where we're all isolated and, sort of stuck in our homes at the moment. And this is where the weekly tarot classes are going to live, the monthly meditation classes are going to be, the live channelings with Raha Shah. If you're not familiar with him, that's the being that I channel from the Ra Collective. And the Ra Collective, they are the ones that pretty much wrote the book on this time frame that we are in right now. And so his channelings go beyond the law of one into what we're in now. And so that will be monthly, that will be live, and you'll be able to ask him questions live. And I will also be going on there live once a month to answer your questions. They can be personal questions like, am I going to be getting a new job? Should I move? Those sort of questions, or they can be bigger questions about ascension and meditation and things like that. And it is paid, and I did keep the price in mind because I know a lot of people, they can't afford a lot right now. And this isn't about money. This is about creating a community. And YouTube doesn't let you do it for free. That's not an option for me. They don't let me do that. So I know a lot of people can't afford even $15, $20. So I kept this at the minimal, and that's intentional, okay? Now, the rest of the channel is not going to be affected. I'm still going to come on 2 to 3 times a week. I'm still going to give you the tarot card readings. I'll end the sessions like today with the Starseed Oracle and other Oracle cards. I'll do the live, readings that I do with other readers and channelers. Still do the free reading giveaways. I'll still do that. That won't change. And I do plan on having some fun with all of you on Halloween. I do plan on coming on live and taking your questions and, doing some fun Q&A and that sort of thing. Later this week, I'm going to be putting out 2 sort of different videos. For those of you who know me, I do a lot of meditation. I wake up at 4 a.m. and I meditate for 2 to 3 hours. And last week, Archangel Gabriel came to me in meditation. And so I ended up doing a channeling session with him. And I'm going to be posting that. And, he is the messenger angel. He does have some messages for you. And he also has some really practical ways to contact him and how you can experience him. It was really a beautiful channeling. So I'm going to be putting that up later this week. The other thing I'm putting up later this week is a new meditation video. I have this beautiful crystal singing Merkaba, and I'm going to be doing a meditation video on clearing and cleansing your chakras, because so many of you are asking me, how do I connect with my spirit guide? How do I connect with the angels, my loved ones on the other side, extraterrestrials? How do I do it? First step is taking care of your chakras. And so this makes a beautiful sound. You just hit it lightly. And depending upon where you hit it and how hard you hit it, it makes different sounds and vibrations. And so that's going to be a meditation video that I put out later this week, so you can look for that. So let's talk about my tarot readings today. I am going to be looking at both Eric and Don Jr. So I think to say Trump is having a tough week is probably an understatement. First of all, TikTok, that app, TikTok, I want to call it Tip Top. I think that's back to that Easter reference with the president. So TikTok says they're going to sue the Trump administration if he tries to ban their app. And they basically said, we'll see you in court. Kellyanne Conway, I'm going to be pulling a few cards on her. She's leaving the White House at the end of this month. Her 15-year-old daughter, Claudia, has basically said enough's enough. She is seeking to divorce her parents. So, she's been with Trump for a long time. And so this has to be a devastating blow. Really interesting. Remember how I kept saying I don't feel any energy with the RNC? It just felt dead. I was seeing darkness. So really interesting. I read an article by MSNBC yesterday, and they said this is the first time ever the RNC has no platform, they have no agenda, and they had no meetings. So no wonder I wasn't getting any energy, because nobody was sitting around talking about it. It was just a last minute thing that Trump said, this is what we're going to do, and that's that. And so that's a first. Another first with the RNC is that this is the first time a sitting president will not be endorsed by a former president. So there's a lot of firsts, I think, with this one. 12 of the keynote speakers have, well, six, actually, let me back it up. 6 of the 12 of the keynote speakers have the last name of Trump. The 7th one is Pence. So no big names, and I don't count the My Pillow guy. So, just it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. The only thing that I am concerned about right now with the RNC is I'm looking at them building this 13-foot tall wall around the White House, and the president plans on making a speech outside of the White House. I saw staging that was being put up. I am a little bit nervous about protesters and how they're going to be treated. That is something that I am picking up on. So, just look out for that. Also, too, this week, 12 Russian military officers were indicted for what they did in 2016, breaking into the Democratic Party's computers, stealing compromising info, and selectively releasing it. And it was to undermine the Democratic candidates. And so that's sort of a big deal. That is going to be putting Trump in connection with Russia once again. His sister, Mary Ann Trump, oh my goodness, in 15 hours worth of recordings by the niece, she has been saying terrible things about her brother, calling him phony, a liar, cruel. His only accomplishments, she said, were his 5 bankruptcies. So, I mean, yet another blow. Um, a lot of blowback after what Melania did to the Rose Garden. She decimated it. First ladies since 1913, starting with Ellen Wilson, has been putting their trees, their rose bushes. They've, been really making this garden beautiful and adding to it year after year. And Melania went ahead and just wiped it clean. She took out Jackie Kennedy's crab apple trees. She did take out Mrs. Wilson's flowers. It's all gone. There's no color left. And I think that's almost like a metaphor for this presidency. Um, the post office relief bill, 26 Republicans jumped over to the Democratic side and voted it in. So it was 257 to 150. So the post office is going to be getting some help, which is good news, that is what I predicted. So let's get into exactly what's going on with the Trump organization. So New York Attorney General Letitia James, she is not playing. She seems, on the ball and fierce. If there is going to be a woman that takes down this president and his organization, I'm going to say it's Letitia James. She means business. So she has subpoenaed Eric Trump. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Because he's the one that knows the least and was involved the least. He did enter, what did he say? Oh, he's trying to plead the fifth. And when I checked in with my spirit guide was like, that's not going to hold up. He can try, but that's not going to hold up. So what she's accusing the Trump organization of, and I wrote this down so I could make sure I say it to you correctly, improperly inflated the volume of Mr. Trump's assets on financial statements in order to secure loans and obtain economic and tax benefits. So now, if you saw Don Jr. last night, oh my goodness, he did not look well at all. Not quite sure what happened there. So why don't we start? Let's pull a couple of cards for Kellyanne. Let's see how things are going for her. Certainly would be interesting if her daughter got her way and, did manage, because, she said too that, the father isn't really much better. And he did leave the Lincoln Project. So let's see. Okay, so the card that represents her, the world, I mean, part of it on the surface, yeah, the world is watching. And she's going into a new phase and a new cycle of her life. So this is like brand new territory for Kellyanne. Her obstacle, Ace of Cups. Aces are about new beginnings. Cups have a lot to do with emotions. You see all this water. Water has to do with emotions. And so her obstacle is that this is a highly emotional issue. I mean, how could it not be, right? Her daughter is accusing her of some pretty terrible things. And so let me look at her outcome here. Let me do a couple of cards for outcome. I'm not going to do the full Celtic cross spread on her. Oh, wow. Okay. So retreating, withdrawing, pulling back, which is exactly what she's doing. But this is also in the place of the future. So that means that she's not going to be in the public spotlight for quite a while. She's going to be pulled back. So we got the Ace of Cups. Now we have the Queen of Cups. Highly, highly emotional. So I don't think her daughter's going to stop, because, once she quits the White House and goes back, this is telling me that not everything is going to be happy, cheery, that sort of thing. There's going to be some issues for sure. And then King of Swords. This is something. Let me ask Spirit, because this is a card that talks about intelligence, being analytical. Okay, so this is going to be not just emotional, but this is sort of going to play with Kellyanne's psyche, where she gets caught in this loop in her mind, where she's sort of like perseverating on this. I'm feeling like mental illness after this, anxiety, depression. I don't think Kellyanne's going to be in a good way anytime soon. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, let's take a look at Eric. How is Eric doing? I've actually never done a full reading on Eric or Don Jr., so this is the first. So let's take a peek. Okay, the card that represents him. This is the card of like planning, assessing, taking things in, trying to figure things out. So he's trying to come up with a strategy, in other words. His obstacle, the star, having faith and hope. He feels pretty hopeless. He knows that he's doomed. His conscious thoughts, they're, he's pulled back, he's withdrawn, he's retreated. He's like Kellyanne. We're not going to be seeing, I think, that much of him. Oh, interesting. Subconscious thoughts, highly emotional. So this is really affecting him. He's lost his hope and his faith. He's pulling back and retreating from the spotlight, and he's feeling really emotional. In the past, he was assessing things. This has a lot to do with money too. Even though I don't think he is the kingpin of the Trump organization by any means, I do think he was sort of taking stock of everything financially, and he was sort of realizing that things may not go quite the way he wanted them to. Okay, so short-term outcome. This is a whole new phase and a new cycle of his life. Okay, the world is watching, and things are going to be changing for him. How he sees himself, walking away, leaving, back turned, there he is going. How other people see him. There's a change coming. There's a change coming. Okay. So the people that know him best must feel like things are not going to be quite the same. His hopes and fears. This would be a fear. Here's the Judgment card. Okay. He does not want to go in front of a judge. Okay. Because he's going, that's the thing. He would have to make it through this whole interrogation without giving up the rest of his family. You know what I mean? And then his outcome card, the card of poverty, the card of losing it all, losing your money, your job, your well-being. So not a good outlook for Eric. I do suspect he is, yes, indeed, going to have to testify. He can delay it for as long as he can, I'm sure. That is the Trump family strategy, is delay, delay, delay. But this does let me know that that's not going to really hold up, is it? So let's take a look at Don Jr. Now, he did not look well last night at all. You would think that somebody that cared about him wouldn't have let him go out looking like that. That was pretty awful. Okay, so what do we need to know about Don Jr.? Interesting. I mean, I just shuffled the cards this whole time, right? He's pulling back, he's withdrawing, he's retreating. Okay, so I mean, these guys have heard the trumpets calling and they are retreating. Not a surprise. His obstacle, here's the Emperor. The Emperor is all about having a good foundation. Having a good foundation is Don Jr.'s obstacle. Okay, but you have to remember, he helped to build the Trump organization's foundation. So he's not blameless. Oh, okay, so typical. Conscious thoughts on getting a financial offer, right? Money, money, money. So he thinks that he's going to be able to buy himself out of this. Subconscious thoughts, financial offer, a financial new beginning, Ace of Pentacles. So he is very concerned and worried about money. In the past, I think very similar to Kellyanne, kind of knew that this was coming. This is a card of analyzing things and oftentimes perseverating on them. Okay, so his short-term outcome, here he is back turned leaving. So that would couple up very nicely with the card of pulling back, withdrawing, and retreating. The way he sees himself, oh, here we go. Poor me. I'm a victim. Look at me. He feels like his hands are tied. He can't do anything. The way other people see him, um, this is the Sun card. The Sun card's about enlightenment. And yes, I think we are all expecting to get some enlightenment out of this. His hopes and fears. This would be a hope. This is a card of abundance. The Empress is about, fertility and abundance and just all these good things coming to you. That's his hope. I think it's a little lofty, but his long-term outcome is the Moon. Lies, deceit, concealment, disillusionment. And so that kind of tells me he's going to keep doing what he's doing. Let's see if we can get a little clarification on that. Really interesting how he got both the Sun and the Moon. He's going to try to hang back in the shadows. He doesn't want the truth to come to light. But, you can only hide back for so long. Okay, well, this couples with the Moon card perfectly. The High Priestess is the keeper of secrets and mysteries and hidden agendas. And so I think what we're going to find out with Don Jr. is that things will be coming out. I think more in 2021 is the time frame I'm feeling. So I think they'll get a little bit of a delay, but it's not going to last forever. And so, stay tuned on that one because clearly we're going to be hearing more about that. So let's use the Starseed Oracle. I am going to shuffle the deck. Let's see, we'll do the first one will be what your spirit wants you to know. The second one is what the universe wants you to know. And then the third will be to bridge it together. Okay. What your spirit wants you to know. Earthed. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. So yes, we are in the world, but we are not of the world. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience, not physical beings having a spiritual experience, right? Dr. Wayne Dyer used to talk about that all the time. So I will put it in there like that. What the universe wants you to know. Double mission. You're a light worker and a starseed. Serve the world by being you. And, that's what I wrote my blog about last week, about my light workers and star seeds. A lot of you are on a double mission. You are both. And I know that can be challenging right now. But you serve the world best by being you. There's only one of you. Okay. Bridging it together, longing for home, homesick for the stars. So I think a lot of you do remember something like, you remember, I don't really come from here. I do come from someplace else. You might not be able to put your finger on it, but it's like this homesickness for a home that you can't quite remember. And so, try to do those things I did suggest in my blog about, grounding yourself and all those different things I put in there. Because, you don't want to feel anxious and depressed. You did come here for a reason. And, observe, but don't absorb. Okay. That would be my message to all my star seeds. Observe, but don't absorb. So there we have it. All right, everyone. It was a pleasure reading for all of you today. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you in a few days. Bye.